Hello, my name is Logan Odom, and welcome back to another video. It's been quite a while. Um, but in these past 9 months or so, haven't gotten a whole lot done. But I've started a couple of books I'm gonna finish by the end of the year, and of course, Ephemeral is out. It's been out for quite a while now, but I have a copy now. That's new. So, anyways, uh, I made a whole video for Ephemeral talking about well, I wasn't really talking about anything. It was just kind of videos from my life because it was the point was life is ephemeral. If you don't know what ephemeral just means like short lived. So yeah, ephemeral is all about how life is all like you've heard it 1,000 times. Appreciate life while you can, but the difference is I feel like when I hear that I never like understand it, if that makes sense. Like I never really take that advice even though I know I should. I'll spend so much time just in my room or complaining about stuff or not I'm almost an adult now, which is pretty crazy because I still feel like a little kid. But I'm taking college classes now and I'm uh moving up in the world, and I feel like a lot of times that there's so much stuff I should have done or that I should be doing right now that I haven't or that I am not. Anyway, so that's kind of what Ephemeral talks about a little bit. It's a story about this guy and his sister who live in the desert, and they're not doing too good. There's this town nearby that doesn't like them, sees them as monsters. They plan to run away because this town is after them. And if you've ever read Of Mice and Men, then you might know I have a hint as to how this book ends. Anyways, enough about Ephemeral. Maybe on the back of the cover. Dude, I look so professional in that. Anyways, we're gonna talk about the books that I'm working on. I've got two that I'm working on that I'm gonna finish by the end of the year, and then one that I'm working on that I could probably finish. I could, in theory, finish it by the end of the year, but knowing me, I'm not going to. So it's gonna be longer. It's gonna be like a novel. So we'll talk about that one first. I've hinted at it a couple times in my posts, but no one looks at that. So it's called Still We Fall, and it comes from a poem I wrote that says, it goes, "We may know everything or nothing at all. We've crowned ourselves king, but still we fall." And I started that book when that team of scientists recreated the dire wolf. Because if you know anything about me, you know that my favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. And there's a quote that Ian Malcolm says, Jeff Goldblum's character. He says, your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they should completely mess that up. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. And I love that because, Jurassic Park exists, which basically says don't bring animals back from the dead. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I forgot that I was, in fact, on the phone with my girlfriend. She kind of came out of nowhere. Anyways, as I was saying, Still We Fall is a book that's I was thinking about it because they made the dire wolves, even though Jurassic Park literally says don't recreate extinct animals. They did it anyways, and that made me think about artificial intelligence. There's so many stories and books and movies and all kinds of things that are talking about how robots are going to take over the world, and yet we still try to make them more and more advanced. And I was like, well, we are literally leading ourselves to our own doom, you know. And so I thought about Still We Fall. That's where the idea for the book came from. It's set in the future where we have set ourselves so close to doom that we tried too hard to reverse the damage, but the damage couldn't be reversed. And then it's set in a society in 2080, I think one, where artificial intelligence has gotten so advanced that it's been banned, and dinosaurs have been recreated, but not very well. And it's about this scientist named Leah, who well, I can't say too much about the book, but you'll learn more about it in the coming months. Anyways, now for the books that are coming out this year. The first one is called The Venator. Alright? Well, either Venator or The Venator. I think I'm just going to call it Venator. Venator in Latin means hunter, though. And Venator is a story about this couple, John and Bee. And John has just lost his job. And they have hit rock bottom. And they need some way to make money again. Because nowhere else will hire them. So John decides that he and his wife should do what they've always wanted to do and follow their dream of making a TV show about exploring the unexplained legends of the world. And they start with Venator Island, which is an island that has a house on it, and it's said that a hermit lives in there. However, someone is thought to have gone missing on that island just a couple weeks ago. And they go to the island, not knowing that beforehand. And let's just say things get a little bit crazy, alright? You know? The Venator isn't just a hermit, you know? It's more than that. Anyways, and they have a dog named Barney. I always forget about the dog. They bring a dog. Anyways, the next one, it's the title I got from the Bible, actually. There's a term called the birds and the beasts, which sounds a little bit weird at first, but it basically was when someone would die with no honor or respect, and they'd throw their body out for vultures and birds to pick at, so that the person didn't have a proper funeral and they couldn't be remembered, or no grave or anything like that. And that's not what the book's about, though. I just thought that was a good title. The Birds and the Beasts is I figured what a time to write about a terror bird and a coming of age story. So that's what The Birds and the Beasts is. That's not going to be a very long book. At the very most, that'll be a novella. Venator is going to be either a long novella or a short novel, I think of 200 pages. I'm not even sure Birds and the Beast will be 100. So, yeah. And then Still We Fall will be a novel. So anyways, yeah, that's what's coming up. I do have a couple of other projects that I'm slowly working on. If you've ever read any of my books, you see at the beginning I always mention The Land Untouched by Time and Scarescrape. Those are way down the road. Those aren't coming for a long time because I want to get those just right. Anyways, yeah, that's about it for the news. So we waited 9 months for 3 books, but oh well. I'm sure no one's actually out there sitting and waiting. But oh well. I will see y'all next time.